This past weekend, we went on a long-planned trip to somewhere special. A place that isn't really a huge tourist destination. And somewhere that I bet you haven't been before. After the utilization of planes, trains, and automobiles, we arrived in Dublin, Ireland. But Dublin's a pretty popular tourist destination, and there's a decent chance you've been there. That's not our destination.
Alright, we made it to Dublin. A bus dropped us off right here on O'Connell Street, and we're walking around catching little vibes.
We had a couple hours to kill in the Irish capital, so we indulged in stereotypical tourist behavior, a Guinness at the famous Temple Bar. Now, I was once told that Guinness doesn't travel well, and in order to fully experience the famous pint of plain, you need to drink it in Ireland. And maybe it's a placebo effect, but a Guinness in Ireland tastes wildly better than a Guinness in Germany.
Tastes I don't know if it's just the environment. Your first Guinness in Ireland, and how was it?
Great, I'm tipsy.
We eventually made our way to a bus where Laura engaged in some classic German behavior.
I printed it out. So what?
How to spot a German on vacation in a foreign country. They'll have directions and maps printed out like it's 1973.
You never trust technology.
A couple hours north through the green Irish country, and we arrived at our destination, Belfast, Northern Ireland. The reason for the visit is to see my old friend Ben and his wife Erin. Ben and I had a year of school together in 2010 and have been friends ever since. If you're a longtime NALF'S viewer, you might even recognize him from some 2016 vlogs, where him and I tried to brave the Northern Irish weather by wearing garbage bags to protect us from the rain. Now, the reason I say you probably haven't been here is because Belfast is not a huge tourist city. It doesn't even crack the top 50 of the most visited European cities, and is behind Dublin and Galway in its own country alone. But Belfast has a special place in my heart. Now, Belfast is famous for being home to the Titanic, where it was built in the early 1900s. So we visited the Titanic Museum.
The shipyard was run by the NCAA.
Get scared working down in that double bottom. You only had candles for light.
And the constant hammering against the shell plates.
Belfast has an incredibly interesting history. The city was home to the Troubles, an armed conflict that lasted 30 years between the Ulster Protestants, who were loyal to the United Kingdom and wanted Northern Ireland to be part of the UK, and the Catholic Irish nationalists, who longed for a unified Ireland. The conflict plagued Belfast for years, resulting in over 3,500 deaths, half of whom were civilians. It finally came to a close in 1998 with the Good Friday Agreement, but remnants of the Troubles are visible throughout the city, namely with murals depicting the history. Okay, after that history lesson, I think it's time for another Guinness.
And now we're going to go to get a pint of Guinness at Biddle's, which has been said by one YouTuber to have the best pint of Guinness in all of Belfast. Let's see how it goes.
The Biddle's Bar Guinness certainly lived up to its lofty reputation. After that, it was time for the big event.
Bunch of teenage girls and Ben going to Ed Sheeran. And me. I'm also going. We see fire.
Now, if you ever get the chance to see Ed Sheeran live, I highly recommend it. His live performance technique, where he builds all the songs on stage in front of you with a loop pedal, is quite impressive.
She don't wanna go outside tonight. It's in a pipe, we'll fly to another land. Send on to another man. I'm thinking about people falling in love in mysterious way.
We had tried to go to Ed Sheeran together in Ireland years ago, but I was unable to make it because of football. But this year, we were able to make it happen. The following morning, we headed to the St. George's Market, the former meat market that now holds a market every Friday and Saturday. And it was here that we got the famous Belfast Bap for breakfast. While English-speaking countries typically aren't known for their food, I do think we've got breakfast figured out.
Camera loves you.
We then headed out to the beautiful countryside for a walk around a lake with a castle. The views did not disappoint. Then it was time for homemade pizza and ping pong, where I'm thankful to have no footage of me losing every single game. So that's what a weekend in Belfast looks like. A great city with a fascinating history and good vibes to be had. Maybe you'll make it there someday. Thanks for watching.